Hi everybody, and in this video we're going to look at art spinning. So I'm going to art spin this bat that I made in my previous video. You're also going to need a spinning wheel. I'm going to use my Ashford Country 2 spinner, and you're going to need a yarn to use as a core yarn. I'm using this mohair, which is from Yeoman Yarns. Right, first thing, got to set up the wheel. Okay, what you need to do is you need to pop the mohair yarn down on the floor between your feet, and we're going to tie this mohair onto the leader on the bobbin. So I've got a leader attached to this big bobbin on my country spinner. I'm going to bring that leader around and through the orifice, and I'm just going to really easily, quickly tie on that mohair straight on to the end of that lead thread. Right, we're going to start spinning this. So I've got my bat, unfolded it, and I'm going to apply this to that core yarn at a right angle. So I'm going to hold this fibre over here and I'm going to apply it to this nice fluffy core yarn. So I'm going to get my wheel going, and then I just hold that over that core yarn and it will start locking on. Eventually. There we go. Okay, so I want this to be a really textured yarn, so I'm going to do areas where I let it go really tight around the core, and then areas where I feed a lot more fibre on to get these lovely pillowy sections where it's very kind of billowy and textured. You keep pulling it, and as long as you keep applying the fibre to the yarn, to that core yarn at a right angle, it just wraps around. And you've got yourself a core yarn. Now, we're going to speed up this process because it takes a little while. Right, I finished spinning my yarn, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off this bobbin now. So first things first, I've got to disconnect this core yarn. So really simply just break it off, and I always just tie a little knot in that end just to make sure nothing starts unravelling particularly. Then I need to turn my wheel around, so I'm seeing the side. I pop that back through the orifice and take it all out, and then I'm just going to wind a skein on my niddy noddy. Now this is a jumbo niddy noddy from Ashford. I just like it for big art yarn, so I'm just going to wind this now off the bobbin. So when I get to the end, I'm going to tie that off and tie it into a skein, and I'll be back in a second when I've done that. Right, so what I've done is I've tied the skein together with a little bit of cotton thread on 2 of those opposite sides there. So there's 2 of these little ties on. That's going to keep it all together when we take it off the niddy noddy. And then on the niddy noddy there is one side that's slightly shallower. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just going to slide that off the niddy noddy, and I've got a skein. So I'm just going to, where's the hank? I'm going to now skein it up. There we go. Give it a little twist. And I'm going to, I twist it into this skein and then I soak it. I find I just prefer it that way. It's less likely to get all tangled up when you're soaking it, so we always soak it like that. So the next step is for me to go and soak this in some really nice warm water. I use a little bit of soap as well, and then I'll dry it, and then it will be ready to use.